This is the Red Room Accessories Podcast with Bacon Triple X. This is an 18-year-olds over podcast. If you're not 18, get the fuck out. So our co-host tonight is Ray, and our topic is Doming 101. So, Ray.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
We're just winging this shit, right? My phone's going nuts. But how did you get into the lifestyle? Like, how did you get into kink?
Well, kink, I would have to say, is just something that has always been, like, I never really actually, there's nothing that actually happened that, like, caused me to be kinky. It's just things that just kind of progressed during the time.
Like,
I never really, I'm 44, so when I was growing up, I didn't really have internet.
right.
And we had dial-up, so, like, it's like trying to watch something, you're just like, okay, I'm going to wait 5 minutes for this thing to download even before I get, like, 2 seconds of it. So it was just kind of like, as you progressed, you know?
So, I'm a little younger than you, and, I ran through the dial-up age, but I seen a lot of, when I got into it at a very, very young age, I don't know if you remember, you should remember, like, the old cable box, black box era.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, my parents always had, like, the illegal cards for the cable boxes. There was always porn on there, right? And you would see, once in a while, you'd get, like, some good BDSM stuff on there.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like, look at these dudes and, like, these women worshiping them and stuff. Or, like, that's how kind of I was like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't anything that I saw, and it was just like, hey, I want to do that. It was one of those things that just kind of progressed.
Yeah.
You know? Like, when I lost my virginity, it was like 3 seconds of time, and the girl next to her, who was drunk, was like, hey, you want to have sex with me? I'll give you $20. I was like, no, that's kind of weird. And I didn't do it. But deep down inside, I was like, that was kind of fucking hot. You know, I thought it was kind of an interesting situation. But I just naturally freak, man.
Yeah.
I'm just naturally a kink motherfucker.
I mean, I'm the same way. Like, ever since I can remember, I've, been into it. Ever since I, would see it on TV or go to my buddy's house. And his parents were super young when they had them. So, of course, like when we were growing up, they were still in their mid-20s.
Banging like rabbits.
Yeah, they were banging like rabbits. Always had fucking porn on and shit. And then his dad would sit there and explain it to us.
I just had Swank magazine. It was about as deep as I can get into the porn at the time. Other than that was it. Harry Bush is sitting there.
we would find, our buddies' dad's Playboys or whatever, but they never had really good anything BDSM into it.
No.
There would be some fetish stuff in there, but nothing BDSM or.
I think everybody's kinky. I think everybody has a way. No, I think everybody has kink in them. It's whether or not they accept it as normal or not. If that makes sense, like the way society looks at people,
right.
And the way society is like, oh, you're not supposed to smack a girl. Well, you know what? Some girls like being smacked.
Right.
Some girls like being choked. And if you enjoy that kind of pleasure, why not elope in it? Kind of really get into it,
So, like, this area, if you haven't noticed, like, we're in bumfucked Egypt out here.
I thought he was going to kill me when I came out. I thought he was going to ask me to put lotion on the skin.
But, like, all the people out here that I talk to, they are so afraid to talk about, like, kink or BDSM or, like, what they're into. Like, they're into it. They hint about it, but they're like, oh, God, I can't talk about it. I got to go to church on Sunday.
It's not accepted as normal.
Yeah. But,
It's deviant.
If you look at, like, what Exotica's doing, they have a pin on all their shirts says sex, or the new normal, and it's like all these sex conventions that they do. That's her new motto, is the new normal.
Yeah, because, I just think everybody has a little kink in them.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not they accept it or not, or if they're gonna, just be themselves with it. It should be normalized in a way, but you know, I mean, not normalized as in like cartoons, but like normal and just like, you know, I got a cross in my basement. If my mom goes down there and looks at it, she's gonna be like, Ray, why is that in there? That's just wrong and stupid. I'm just gonna be like, Mom, we enjoy it, and Amber squirts, so yeah, I have a cross.
What's that pee pad right there? I mean, my mom knows what I do. I mean, of course, it's all over the internet, and you know, all over the internet with Red Room accessories and all that stuff. So she doesn't. Of course, she doesn't approve of it, but she really doesn't get, you know.
She doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's one of the things she'll bring up at Thanksgiving dinner.
She's a JW, so.
Hey, what kind of vlog are you working on today? Well, I got this one with spikes on it.
Yeah, she really doesn't talk to it about with her Jehovah's Witness friends.
Your mom's a Jehovah's Witness?
Oh yeah, she's straight up
beautiful.
JW. Straight up JW.
Oh, that's a whole other different conversation, man.
Oh yeah, those door knockers on Saturday get a real treat. Especially if the kid ain't here and like a sub's here. I'm like,
go into that.
Chains and shit.
Rattling up in there. You have her carrying the cross like Passion of Christ right to the door.
Dressed as a nun.
BDSM though. When I started getting, how did I start realizing the dom sub relationship?
Yeah.
So I had other relationships before my present wife. I found myself always wanting to like be in control of the situation.
Right.
And they were always very reluctant to do it. And it kind of caused me to lose interest very quickly with like, things.
Yeah, it got boring quick.
Yeah. It was like just like didn't feel right.
Right.
You know? And then my present wife, you know, Amber.
This is a fucking fox.
She's all right. No, she's gorgeous.
Which we'll have Amber on here sometime to talk about the submissive side. And
you don't want to be in the shed, Amber. You might want to call in instead.
And the like how a dom sub couple works, because when I talk about dom sub couples, I always relate to you guys, because when it works, like it's a fucking sweet thing to like sit back and watch it work. Cause
I appreciate that.
And then, you know, I always talk about the tattoos.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So when it works, and it's like, all right, you just sit back and like, oh, okay, that fucking works. Like that dynamic right there, fucking works. And then when you don't see it work, it's like,
that ain't right.
Yeah. Run.
Well, there's different types. I mean, there's all sorts of different types. I mean, you know, there's what you would call the new guard and then the old guard. But then there, you know, in my mind, there's a combination of the two. You don't have to be one way or another.
Right.
You can take some aspects out of this one and take some aspects out of this one.
And that's the greatest thing about like this lifestyle is what I always tell people is like, just because you're dom doesn't mean you're into whips, chains, pain, fucking blood, you know.
No, you could be a dom and not into kink.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a 1950 style.
And there's doms that are non-sexual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you don't even have to, you know, I mean, I've flogged people before and not have sex or anything after that, because it's the satisfaction of like that. There's an energy exchange between the person on the cross and the person that's doing the beating or flogging or what you want to call it, you know. There's an exchange.
Yeah, because like when I've done demos where like, you know, with being with Red Room Accessories and, at clubs or at Exotica or wherever, like I'll do flogging demos, and like I've literally had like girls like, straight up grab my crotch and be like, "The fuck, like you're not hard." I'm like, "I'm working."
Yeah, but it's a different release.
It is. I'm like, but I also get asked all the time, like, are you jealous that you're not flogging that girl right now? I'm like, no, because we built that fucking flogger, and look at that bitch go. Like, look what it's doing to her. Like,
there's a lot of respect that you give a Don that knows how to work a flogger correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's take it back, like, not last Friday, but the Friday before, we were at the house party. We won't say whose house party, but we were at a house party. Yeah. We were at a house party, and I don't think I flogged one person.
Yeah, you did. No, you used my whip.
I used your whip.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and everybody's...
Fucking massive, big-ass whip. The girl wouldn't let me try it, but she's like, I'll let him try. Okay, here we go. I just wanted him to see it work.
Right.
I mean, it's a
and it took me a minute. Like, I had to go and practice on a garage door for a minute. I had to beat the fuck out of a garage door for a minute. But, you know, and there were so many people that walked up to me and they're like, does this bother you that you're not flogging somebody? I'm like, fuck no. I built that flogger and that flogger. Look at him go.
That's true. That's true. My arm got really tired that night.
Yeah, you were.
I did.
I was like, wow, I get to relax for one night and not.
Everybody wanted to try my clothespins.
I call it the Chinese zipper.
The Chinese. I don't know where it came from. I just remember there was an individual that brought it up to me one day, and then Amber's eyes lit up. She was like, I think I might like that. And I'm like, I think I'm going to try it. And
the individual that brought it up to you...
Can't say his name.
I'm not saying his name, but...
I like the guy. I like the guy. Don't say anything bad about him on
this. As long as you like him, that's all that matters.
Moving on. Amber ended up getting into a mental health issue.
Okay.
And, you know, it doesn't work for everybody, and I wouldn't recommend anyone getting into Dom because you have mental health issues or something like that, and you might need somebody to help you along the way, but it works for us. And, you know, she needed some guidance. She has a hard time keeping her mind straight. She has a hard time making decisions, and she needed somebody that she can trust. We've been together for almost 21 years now.
Holy shit.
And we've been doing this for over 8. So it gets to a point to where you trust somebody enough that you can allow them to take that control. And it's a very, very freeing thing for her. She's able to focus on what it is that she's doing at the time instead of focusing on what should be or couldn't be or what may not be. You know, and she's able to stay, you know, more centered by doing that. So it helps her mentally. And I have control issues, so it helps me also.
Now, was she into it before you guys got together?
Not really the BDSM side of things, but she was... No, let me rephrase that. Not into the kink or the dom sub type. She was always like, don't tell me what to do. And she would always argue and everything, and then after a while, what I, you know, told her to do or suggested for her to do was the right thing for her to do.
Gotcha.
And she was like, you were right, I was wrong. And I was like, yeah, well, maybe you should listen. But, you know, yeah, I mean, we were kind of kinky then, too. Like, you know, we had our threesomes and foursomes and moresomes, and we had, you know, your spanking and stuff like that, and video recordings and all sorts of little wax play and all that stuff before we started getting into the dom-sub relationship, like way before. But then it kind of died off after about a year and a half or 2 of when we first met. And it was kind of, I wouldn't say basic, but it was one-on-one, nothing, you know, nothing special, you know. And I had her call me master one time during that time, and she really liked it, but I overdid it. So like, say it again, say it again, say it again, you know, like, come on, little girl, say it again for me. And she just like, you're doing it too much. I'm like, oh. But
well, we did find out that you do not like when she calls somebody else daddy.
No, I do not. No, I do not. She did it all in fun and everything, and I was like, what the fuck? No, I mean, don't do that.
You were out of commission, but you were still in control of that situation, and I was like, that's not a good stripping.
So she was like, I really like that. So the next day she was like, kids were still up too, and they were younger. A lot younger, I think. Maybe like infant, maybe 3 or something like that. it's a love-hate relationship with things. Like, you see my little dryer balls, right?
You're right.
You want to explain them?
So, we were at this house party last or 2 Fridays ago, and he was, doing his thing, and I'm like, it kind of looked like drumsticks with like these big giant spiked balls on them. So when he got done with this scene, I'm like,
for a subspace, they're looking for just that release.
That release.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I can get them into subspace, depending on the situation and who's around, and like that's kind of why I want to build the BDSM room, because you don't have the people getting them out of subspace, because like being super fucking close, or when you go get a new toy, there's now somebody's licking her pussy, and like I'm like, what?
You turn around and you have to shoo someone away.
Yeah.
I'm known as the shooer, though.
Are you?
Oh yeah, if somebody's involved with the scene that's not supposed to be there, I'll just shoot them out, man. I'll tell them, I'll say, you gotta go.
So when we would do, it's not so bad now when we're doing demos and stuff at Arrows, or like when we're traveling with Exotica, but when I would do shows at the Body Shop in Canton, which no longer exists,
to being like, you know what, we have that connection. Like, you've seen us when we do our thing. We have this like telepathic connection with each other, and I could feel her,
right? And you read her body language so well,
and I appreciate that. But that connection we have cannot be duplicated.
No.
So we allow ourselves to kind of experience other things. I don't know if I'm going to let anyone ever flog her.
Right.
But the thought has crossed my mind. But it's...
I mean, I kind of flogged her.
You did?
Yeah. Last 2 Saturdays ago. You're like, you can spank her if you want. So I like...
Oh, you wouldn't do it?
Well, I had 0 room, so I was like...
No, it was no flogger. I told you to use your hand, and you were like, no, I'm not going to do it.
No, I had the flogger in my hand. I had 0 room to swing it.
I would have...
I've always been a single...
Well, there's some assholes.
Oh, yeah, like... Ron with 3 N's, as he likes to be called now, because because Bacon XXX, he don't want the X's, so he's like, put a Ron with 3 N's.
That's funny.
But when he was the DJ at the Body Shop, he would call out motherfuckers, and he'd be like, "Hey, like creepy dudes, or but it's 99% of the time single guys." Like, somebody would be fucking somewhere, and somebody would be like 3 inches away from their dick, like, "Hey, buddy, step back. You don't need to be that close. come back over here." And like,
is there somewhere where I could put this?
Oh man, that could be.
That's how we really got into Dom and Sub. It was more of a mental health and kind of my mind frame and her mind frame. She kind of wanted it. She wanted somebody to help her with the decisions in her life.
Right. And you guys, we'll talk about this more with the Dom Sub, like how your guys' relationship works, but she pretty much has like a strict routine that she does, right?
Mm-hmm. I have daily chores, I have weekly chores, I have a weekly menu. She wakes up at a certain time. Don't talk to her or mess with her until she's had her coffee and wake up.
Right.
So I don't get any of that, like,
early morning.
And maybe she might need something like that in order for her to feel worthy. Or maybe she needs something like that in order to feel like she belongs. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But for somebody getting into doming, let's just say, hold them, and then if she was like in a deep subspace to where sometimes you can't be vocal, she could open her hands and drop them, and the balls would.
But they they don't know that don't talk during the scene, around the scene.
Yeah, like when we're in a club and stuff, you can't be like, "Hey, everybody, shut the hell up!"
Right.
I'm doing a scene.
Right. Yeah.
Don't throw her out of her subspace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though like the clubs, the new club, strictly has a lot of signs that say,
you can't help it.
Right, you can't help it.
No.
That's why props to you rope people. I'm like, I actually have a rope person in mind coming onto the podcast.
That'd be cool.
Like, our brains never quit. So he's like, "Hey, I'm building a set of stocks out of this scrap wood, and they're fucking phenomenal. So we're gonna throw this in there."
I don't know if you're gonna have enough room for all that.
I mean, we got stock. iHeartRadio, Spreaker. As a dom, I get my pleasure like watching their bodies be fulfilled with stuff they're into. So I mean, like, if somebody's like really big into impact play, and like, fuck yeah, I'll use Red Room Accessories floggers on them and watch them fucking, you know.
You are a plug-in motherfucker.
I mean, we make the best shit in the world. So.
You do. I have a flogger. I have to
Like the mind fuck. If you become a dom and you really get into it, the mind fuck of the whole situation is some of the best shit. I mean, you can set up so much shit like over the internet, mind fucking someone before the scene. Like, you can fuck with their mind so much and get them so turned on and so wet, so when they get there to wherever you're at, like,
What kind of scenario are you talking about?
so like, say that I have a sub coming over at a certain time.
I want to go down that road.
I mean,
You know,
a pile of hay out there.
your horses eat from there.
I mean, they never knew. But, yeah, so, like, we started with that, and then the next time, I think we were up at the old shop, and I had a leather knife, and I ran that down her leg. And she really liked that. She's like, oh, okay. And she had some, like, real, like, light scratches. They weren't, you know, like, blood wasn't, I mean, you could just, very light scratches. Like, the next day, I don't know why, but her body was like, let's look like walking Wolverine fucking attacked me. I'm like, they didn't look like that when you left.
I wonder what it is about that they enjoy, though.
I don't know.
See, mine is like a power and control thing. You know, big C word. I don't have one of those. I have a tiny little pecker.
Amber must like it.
No. You see the size of her dildo she uses.
We'll ask her about
Puts mine to shame.
But, with people wanting
Consent's
to...
hard. Everybody gives consent freely. Like, it's just like some sort of Starburst candy or something. You gotta be careful you give your consent too.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be careful of that shit.
So before you got here, I was vetting a new sub. I had a PA, and she was telling me about an experience that she had at Body Shop Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and she went with a friend, and he went off and did his thing, and she was kind of vulnerable or whatever, so a couple asked her to play. She went back and played, and she said they tied her up, and were like, had no conversation with her about, like, hey, what you're into, da-da-da. She found herself fucking tied up, and she spoke up, and the dude hit her in the face.
No shit.
Like, straight up sucker punched her.
I think what you're talking about there, though, is more of a vetting process than it is a consent process. You gotta vet the people you play with.
Yeah, you definitely gotta vet the people you play with.
Especially when you're talking about tying up and stuff.
But I would, at the same time, you think you would have, like, even when I do demos and stuff, I have a small conversation of like consent, like, can I lift your dress up? You know, can I flog your nipples? Can I go between your legs? With a flogger. I never, you know...
I won't play with anyone that I don't really know very well.
Right, but that's not your job.
Nope.
It's not your job either.
Nope, that's your job, man. You're like
Right.
You're like a cashier at a gas station when it comes to flogging.
Next.
Yeah, you're trying for a record, aren't you?
Yeah, we're working with Exotica to try to get like 200 plus. Right now the record's at 200 asses spanked in 2 minutes.
Just 201. If you can just find me 201 women.
I want to shatter it. I don't want somebody to like, hey, I got 202.
But all I need is 201. If you can find me 201 women, I mean,
So
they're there.
the woman that has the record had 201, and a guy spoke up and was like, you hit my back, and they took it away. So
Oh,
made
that's
it
fucked up.
made it 200.
So yeah, vetting and consent. It's a tricky one. Like I won't mess around with anyone that I don't know a little bit personally.
Right.
To know what they're into. I won't go and flogging somebody on the first day. If that makes sense.
Like I do.
Yeah. But that's your job.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of what you do. That's your thing. You're like, I got this big flogger and I need to put it somewhere. So.
But at the same time, like when I was at the club 2 Saturdays ago, and
everything's been 2 weeks.
Right.
With you.
Well, yeah, because I had the boy last weekend, so I couldn't go, which was good.
Busy.
Yeah,
it was busy 2 weeks. No, it was.
Right.
2 weeks ago was pretty busy.
But like, I was kind of invisible at the club until somebody's like, "Hey, come flog my wife." I was like, I'm just relaxing, but I guess I'll come flog your wife.
Everybody wants you flogging. That's all right though.
I mean, it's a fun time. It makes for.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, you're
like
a pleasure
you can't.
Dom, so you
Yeah,
can just,
I'm a pleasure Dom. So I mean, that's my job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I ever tried to go to like a club and just relax and not work, everybody's like, "Where's your flogger at?" I didn't bring it. What?
It's like your cowboy hat.
Yeah. When I didn't.
You're not allowed in here.
Yeah. when I went incognito to the house party, they're like, "Who is that?"
Who's that guy?
So many people walked by me and had no clue who I was.
Yeah. Gotta have the cowboy hat, man.
Yeah, gotta have the cowboy hat.
So, yeah, I mean, you gotta... Because, that's the other thing, too, I've noticed, is that... I don't know, it might be the same for men, too. But most women, when they get into a situation, they sometimes have a hard time saying stop.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you're deep into subspace,
yeah,
you can't, like, your voice does not work. So, I mean, like I said, you have to have that consent and vetting process. I think it goes hand in hand with DOMs and, the Dom sub lifestyle because, hey, this is what I'm comfortable with, the consent thing, and I don't know if you guys have ever did one, but like the sex menus or like a contract. I don't know if you can ever have a contract.
Yeah, I mean, we
of like, have you ever went through stuff like I'm into this, I'm not into this?
In the very beginning, and we realized it was better to mention the things that we won't do because there's not really many things on there that we wouldn't do. There's like 190 some odd questions or something like that on those.
Well, they have a new one out. I guess it's like over 300, and it breaks it down like
sub. I mean, who's got time for all that though? Really,
I don't know. I mean, they said it takes like over an hour to do it. I was like, just tell me yes or no. This is the shit I'm into. Yes or no, because this is the only shit I'm into.
Oh, that's right. They do that number. Like 1 through 5.
Yeah, 1 through 5. And like 1's being, I'm not really into it, like not at all. And 5's like, I must fucking have it. But I think the new one that has like 300 questions is like 1 through 11.
I guess it would be fun, like if you're new couple trying to get into it. I mean, we did do that in the very beginning. But, things change too.
Yeah.
Like, a million years, Amber would have never thought. I mean, let alone going to a swingers club, but actually, like, trying to not go to a swingers club. Like, it's, hey, there's a party this weekend. Okay, well, we got to go. No, we can't go. I'm fucking broke.
Right.
That type of thing.
I mean, you want to talk about, like, things changing. When I first met you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I first met Ray, him and Amber would come in on a Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
So, we Red Room Accessories would host
Well, that wasn't the first day we went, but we ended up going. Yeah, that was our thing.
And they would come, get a flogger, run back to the private rooms, do their thing, and come back, and, like, leave. That's it. Like, nobody could watch.
Well, we wouldn't leave, but nobody watched.
Nobody watched. You guys didn't stay long. Like, you didn't stay the whole 2.5 or like 2:30 a.m. or whatever. You guys.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
Well, yeah.
That's irrelevant.
There was also other people living at your house, and like babysitter situations weren't.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so, when Red Room Accessories left that club.
It ended up only being like 4 people on Freaky Friday. We were like, nope, I'm not coming here anymore on Fridays.
Right. I mean, when you pull like the DJ that was so vocal and got everybody in the club into whatever the theme was, which is wrong. Or actually, it was DJ Rizzo back then.
Rizzo.
DJ Rizzo.
That's a stupid name, Ron.
So it was DJ Rizzo back then, and of course, the hot blonde, his wife, Allie C.
I always loved her.
Yeah.
She was great.
She would be slinging drinks, so you take those two out of a club, and then you kick Red Room Accessories out for being associated with them, because that's my business partner. Sorry.
Then we went from no one seeing us, borrowing a flogger and returning it when we're done, to me carrying a big-ass bag and ripping clothespins off of her in front of hundreds of people at one time in the center stage. What was that,
how things...
4 or 5 years later?
Yeah, I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah. And I'm on a podcast talking about it.
Right?
Life's weird.
Life's great, though.
It is. Well, yeah, you gotta enjoy the things such as, like, you gotta live your life and be who you feel you need to be.
Like, I don't know, like, vanilla was never for me. Like,
I like vanilla ice cream, and that's about as far as I'll go.
I can't do vanilla ice cream.
Man, you melt some peanut butter on that.
No, straight up like
so good.
chocolate.
Chocolate. The fuck? Everybody likes chocolate ice cream.
No.
I prefer vanilla.
Oh, shit.
Alright, what's your next question there? Oh, wait. Did it? Where are you at?
Well, what do you think the difference between Doms and Masters are?
Doms and Masters. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, I'm a Dom.
If you have an agreement with an S-type that you have control over certain aspects of their life, whether it be clothes or whether it be how some people do potty, the bathroom.
Right.
And you can't go to the bathroom without permission. I don't know who's got the energy or the time to do that. I sure as hell don't. I don't want to be part of that.
Oh, dude, it's a full-time job. I've had 6 full-time subs, 24/7 subs, and I was fucking insane.
Yeah, no, that's too much, man.
Because they were like, what am I wearing today?
Yeah.
What am I eating? Am I allowed to go to the bathroom? I was like, I ain't getting shit done.
But any aspect of control you have over their life of some sort, I guess would be considered Dom.
Right.
A master is able to make those decisions without consulting the S-type for her better well-being. They know their S-type so well that you don't even ask. You can just be like, you're going to have a tuna melt and carrots for lunch. And she's going to be like, oh, okay. Tell Amber, you're going to have a salad. She's like, I don't want a fucking salad. And I'm like, stop cussing. I don't want a salad. I'm not a master. We're working on that.
Yeah.
But,
so you have you're Dom with master tendencies.
We're working on it. I won't consider myself a master until I feel as if I am master of her. You're mastering of someone.
Right.
I'm dominating her as of right now. So that's the difference between a Dom and a master to me. Now everybody has a different opinion.
Yeah, everybody's going to say, all the keyboard warriors out there are going to have their own opinion.
Mm-hmm. I'm a master because she's a slave and she doesn't tell me no. Well, Amber doesn't tell me no either, but guess what? I'm not master because I'm not mastering of her.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you want to pretty much know every aspect of her and be able to control her without her knowing you're controlling her.
At least one of her personalities, that'd be great. Sorry, baby.
See, somebody explained it to me back in the day like this: is a dom goes over each scene every time, where a master had what's that one set of rules, and like they would go over it once and be like, all right, boom. I like that in a sense, but at the same time,
Wait. So a dom is somebody who's going to go over you're talking a scene,
right?
When you involve any type of scening or flogging or anything like that, I think you're going from a dom sub relationship and going into a BDSM or a kink side of it. You can be a dom or a master of somebody and not have a scene.
Right.
So, but that's just my opinion. But what you're saying is that a dom goes through every scene with their S-type each time.
Yeah.
And a master only says, this is what we do.
Yeah, like
no more talk about it.
Right. That's how it was explained to me back in the day. Some aspects make sense to me, but some aspects don't, because we go back to what we were talking about, how you guys first started out. That would not make sense to you, because look how well you guys have evolved from borrowing a flogger to, never being in front of everybody. If you would have said, it's like, hey, we're never playing in front of everybody, you guys would still be hiding in a room.
It's true.
So
a closet somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean, part of it makes sense of like where a master, like they go over the contract or whatever, or the menu like one time and they set it until something needs changed. Where like a dom, it kind of progresses and to like, all right, let's try this time, or let's try this time.
I guess you would talk. Maybe go through a scene if you guys are trying to do something different.
Right.
But you should do that anyways. I mean, any way you look at it, everybody is a human being.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to have different reactions and desires and wants with whatever they're doing. So, like, I feel like you should have respect enough for the person to say, hey, I'm going to pour hot wax over you. Are you cool with that?
I would say you need to do that. You need to talk about before you already have the hot wax.
Nah.
See?
Nah, you just pour it over and be like, you alright? But no, I mean, I guess... I guess that would be in the beginning conversation, though, whether or not you're going to be a slave, right?
Yeah.
Like, you would already have that in your menu.
Yeah.
That
do I have slave
500 questions.
Do I have slave tendencies or do I have sub-tendencies?
Yeah.
But also, I heard this on another podcast, because I was kind of listening to some Dom Sub podcast and getting some, where the Dom and Sub were both on there, and they said, never try shit in the heat of the moment, because it can go bad. Of like, hey, let's try, and I think we had this conversation at the house party of like not
house party was full of conversation.
It was full of conversation, and then like there was no more conversation. It was all demos.
It was good stuff. But what
of like you're in the middle of a scene, like, hey, let's try this now, because you're not in the right state of mind. You're in a different mindset.
Yeah.
So like you were talking about Amber, and when she's in the medical chair of like wanting a train or whatever, if you would ask her right now would she want that, she'd probably be like, fuck no.
No, why'd you even bring that up?
but in that mindset of like when she's in the moment, in the mood, and you would ask her, she'd be like, yeah, fucking bring it on. Of like, all right, hey, let's not try new shit in the fucking moment.
Yeah, no, that's right, because you can always make the wrong decisions too.
Yeah, like your mind is not fully.
But there are individuals who would consider themselves a slave, which would be 100% consent for whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which Amber is. But it's more, you don't want to damage. Okay, so you have a really nice car,
Right.
right? You can do whatever you want with that car. Are you going to go out in that car and just like,
Beat the fuck out of it.
yeah, run it through the woods? No. It might be fun as fuck
Right.
to do something like that. Be like, oh, this is great. But at the end of the day, it's damaged.
Yeah.
So, you going to rebuild it? I don't know.
She's never going to be perfect.
Right. But you got to take care of it. You got to take care of your property.
Yeah, I mean, the slave would be considered your property.
They are your property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, since Amber's a slave type more than a sub, you guys into collars or?
Yeah, she always wears a collar. She always wears. Oh, you want to bring up the tattoo, don't you?
I mean, I love a fucking tattoo. But for her, I mean,
Well, you can't really describe the tattoo.
No.
She's got a heart lock on her arm that says owned, and I have a key on my arm that says owner, and they go together.
Right.
And the chain's broken, and they connect.
But if she would work like a normal 9-to-5 job, like in an office or whatever, she could not wear a collar. So like the tattoo is kind of like would be like a day collar. If she
No, her collar is acceptable in regular vanilla
I don't know
life.
if I've seen her collar.
She always has it on.
I'm sure I do, but I've never noticed it.
No, see?
I
That's
look
the
at
point.
I look at other right. I look at other things.
And don't ever touch a submissive's collar.
Yeah.
I had a guy do that one time, and I was like, no, don't do that.
So what do you mean? Like he like?
Yeah, he grabbed onto it.
Oh.
I was like, don't do that.
And don't touch a fucking cowboy's hat.
No, you can do that as long as you rub it on your pussy.
Now, talking about collars. I heard it's an unwritten rule for a sub to put or take off her collar. That's the dom's job or the master's job.
It
And
is.
Yeah, and I think that is a very kind of like a sacred thing of like I'm putting
It's
this
very
collar.
sacred.
Yeah,
It's a very sacred thing.
and like collars, a lot of people are like, I want a collar, I want a collar. Like, you have to earn the fucking collar. You just don't like. You can have a play collar,
Yeah, you can always have play collar because they're fucking hot.
but
That's for sure.
but like a collar, like collaring somebody is almost like putting a fucking wedding ring on. I think
It
it's more
is.
sacred.
It
than-
is. I agree.
I think it's more sacred than a wedding ring.
Yeah. If you ask Amber, would you rather have a wedding ring or a collar? Well, she has a collar, so she'd say a wedding ring now. But if she didn't have the collar, I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what she would. I know what she would say,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna say it because I might be wrong.
Then you'll get home and be like,
I'll get home and she'll be like, "Hey, no." I'll be like, "Damn it, still not a master."
don't know that.
That's what I think a master would know.
Yeah,
A master would be like, "No, she wants a collar."
right.
See what I did there?
Little play on words.
Well, I gave her the answer without giving the answer.
Oh,
How long have we been on here?
we've been on here almost an hour.
Oh, how long you want to go?
I don't know, but
Next question.
yeah,
We could always split it up, I guess.
yeah. So, what about like toy preference? Who picks toy preference?
See, that's a tricky one.
That's why we're talking about it.
Man, that's a tricky one because, like, there's toys that I have, like those dryer balls.
Yeah,
She hates them. Hates them. But I love them because it draws that, it helps with the bruising, which she loves marks. She wants marks.
Now, do you like marks?
Oh, yeah.
See,
Yeah, I'll masturbate right on the fucking marks if I could.
here's my thing with marks. When I work, or when I would flog at the body shop, there was a certain attendee, and she was a fucking pain freak. And I would either have to flog her before anybody got there or after everybody left, because to get her like in the subspace she wanted, and like she liked her ass like purple, yellow, and green, like, and I would have to swing for the fences like every hit,
I have to say there'd be a limit, though.
and it would scare all my newbies away.
Yeah, for sure.
They'd be like, I'd be like, all right, who's next? Oh fuck no! Look what the hell you just did to her, because she would like
Yeah.
instantly bruise. So she would be like purple as she was walking up the stairs. Yeah.
Amber doesn't bruise that easily.
So, like, I got away from Marks because I got a bad rap for, I was like, that's what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not, I'm not going to leave marks on you if you don't want marks left on you.
Yeah,
but, like, swingers, back...
See, that's the thing, too, is that we don't really have, like, a really good BDSM-type scene out here, either.
Right. Well, I mean, it's growing.
It's
growing from when we started.
Well, yeah, it is.
I mean,
growing.
more swingers are more curious and open to trying it than they were back then. And I've always been an advocate of being that bridge from swinger or BDSM to swinger and be like, it's okay. You can come get spanked and still go back and have sex with that other couple. Like, it's okay to dip your toes in the dark side over here.
The thing that kills me about the BDSM thing, though, is that there's so many protocols. You know what I mean? Like, I want my own protocols. I don't want to have to abide by other protocols.
Right.
And I feel like it's a little bit much. But toy preference, we're going.
I mean, we can stay with...
Were you ADDs?
We can stick with protocols.
I get all over the fucking place.
Me too. That's the thing about being live.
Toy preference, though. All right, so dryer balls.
She hates them.
She hates them. I love them. So I choose the dryer balls. I got a cat of nine tails with a monkey fist on the end of it. When I use it, it leaves these nice little red marks. Beautiful markings. She hates it, but I like it. But floggers, she loves. She loves the floggers. She loves the crop. She loves those clothespins. So it's like one of those things. It's
you want to
like,
explain the clothespins? You want to explain the zipper?
The zipper.
Because when we've talked about the zipper earlier, and
yeah.
I know people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is a zipper?"
You know what? Yeah, because not everybody we know is gonna be listening to this. I guess there's gonna be other people. So essentially, it's just like a bunch of clothespins on a clothesline, tied with knots, holding them in place. I place them on her, drive her to orgasm. There's 12 on one, 15 on another, and they're attached to her skin.
And they're going like down down her side.
Yeah, the side, but you can put them any way you want. I wouldn't put them on no, because I put them on her pussy before.
Right.
I put them on her pussy in a club one time and tied them open.
Oh.
And then pulled them off of there with a wand on the lips.
Was she like on that little metal table, that inverted metal table when you did that?
No, that was at a different place. This was a you've never been there. A different place out in Akron.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're doing parties there or not anymore. I don't know. But they so you get her an orgasm and you grab the string and you pull the clothespins off. If you don't know, Pornhub.com, clothespin zipper, and you'll see it.
There you go. But
plug for Pornhub, then
right,
they start paying you.
Yeah, I'm already on Pornhub.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where?
So Ivy that we're gonna have on here for rope, somebody taped, and I believe we were in Miami. We were in Miami. Taped our Sunday performance and like.
He means video record.
Yeah, whatever, on a phone. Anyway, Sunday, like at Exotica is like my lazy day, right? And I was being very generous this day, and the guy we were with, Dungeon in a Bag, shout out to them, good people. But I was like, "You want some stage time, buddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." I was like, "All right," because I don't really feel like dragging my shit on stage, so let's drag your shit on stage. And we put Ivy upside down, but she popped out of this bag because the whole X-frame thing folds up. So it's a toy preference. Anyway, it's like a mobile cross spanking bench and stuff.
So it's like the go-go gadget.
Yeah, it's like a go-go gadget of
sex furniture.
And he says it fits in a golf bag, but it's more like the size of a 10x tent bag, like a pop-up tent bag. But we put Ivy in it and then drug her up the stairs, and then she pops out because Ivy's tiny.
And that's on Pornhub?
Yeah. And like...
I thought your cock was on there.
No, I mean, you can kind of see it, but... No, I still had like my denim underwear on and shit. But I get...
Did you say denim underwear?
Yeah, they're like denim printed looking like jean underwear.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it looks, because I have my chaps on, so it looks like I have jeans on.
Oh, nice.
But they're fucking, like, tight spandex looking.
Boy shorts.
Yeah.
They're like denim.
Yeah, but they look like jeans.
But I say their flogger, man, is a toy preference. I mean,
And you said he's more into thud and sting.
Yeah, and you could do all sorts of different things with a flogger. You could do a sting. You could do
Well,
a
it
thud.
depends on the flogger.
Red Room Accessories floggers can give you both sensations.
On the type,
regularly.
well, it all depends on the type of leather that we use and what the person wants out of it. Like when Red Room Accessories builds a flogger, we want, we ask you.
That's why you have that build your own flogger set,
Right.
Right.
You can build your own, customize it. all the colors. Ron will be in Florida, and he will build that thing. He built like 19 yesterday.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's on a.
He's on a kick.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, because we got Exotica Chicago coming up. We have Organ Grinders Ball, and then we have to stock the new club.
See how he just kind of like puts his plugs right in there in regular conversation?
Damn right.
This guy's a walking, talking ad board.
Do you know how many times I get stopped at Exotica for these goofy ass podcasts? I'm like, what podcast is he going to be on? The dude just walks off. And then it'll be like months later, somebody will tag me in it.
That's funny.
They'll tag like Red Room Accessories, and they're like, hey, you're in this dude's podcast. I'm like,
all right.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that works.
But I don't like the camera in my face. I'd rather have like this with no camera. I'm way more comfortable than
I don't want a camera on me.
than seeing my face on camera.
Yeah.
So like, if you ever see me,
What's your toy preference?
I'm a flogger guy.
Flogger? I think a flogger is the go-to.
But I like my big floggers. Like, I love our little floggers we make. I think they fit female hands way better or small hands way better. But when I do like the stage shows and everything, the audience is massive. So like the far person in the back, I want them to hear that ass smack.
The sound.
Yes.
The sound is the key. Like, you have, I mean, to me anyways, like the sound, you have to hear it.
Yeah. And everybody thinks that you're getting, or that the ass is getting murdered.
Then
But it's more of the leather hitting each other.
It's like I got a dragon tongue. I like to fold in half and use it as a
Yeah.
paddle.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful sound.
It is a nice sound.
Man, I think that hardly it does anything for her. I don't know. You have to ask her. I think it's like a little bit
Well,
of a
you
feel.
also used it on the other girl. I won't mention her name, but
No.
but you used that.
Yeah. Well, she likes that sting of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had some nice marks.
Oh, yeah.
That
They're still there.
Are they? That's hot. They were hot. It was a good show. Like,
I liked it.
and then I'm gonna put another
Don't
plug.
use any names.
I'm gonna put another plug.
Oh,
in
another
here.
plug.
I'm gonna put another plug for the ginger, Justin, in here because we were commentating
Oh.
the whole entire.
Oh, we're allowed to mention Justin?
Yeah, because Justin wants to call in.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And,
no, I like Justin.
Yeah, Justin wants to
Justin's
call.
great.
The ginger. Justin
What about
wants
his
to-
girl?
Yeah, huh?
What about his girl? Can I mention her too?
I don't
No,
have her.
It'll get confusing anyways.
Yeah, but me and Justin were just sitting there commentating on all the
Yeah.
demos going
Rude
on.
son of a bitch. You shouldn't talk during a scene and these guys are giving me like some sort of baseball play-by-play.
You couldn't-
Oh, he hit that one right out of the park.
we were far enough away; it was not disturbing.
No, it
the
wasn't
scene.
distracting. I'm just messing. I can't hear anyways, remember?
Yeah, we couldn't hear anyway. So yeah, we were listening or watching you and whoever you were demoing with, and then right beside of us, two people were fucking. So.
Okay. First off, it's not demoing. That's in your world.
It's demoing
No.
because
No, it's a scene for me. It's a demo for you.
the demo.
For you.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a scene for me.
but even if it's not your partner, because
Yeah, it's still a scene.
it's still a scene for
Yeah,
you.
it's not a demo. See, I'm not demonstrating anything.
You weren't demonstrating your skills.
No, I'm giving them a scene, and we're scening together.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not a show.
you're definitely putting on a show. You had a crowd.
But it's not a show.
You had a crowd.
It's a scene. That is actually something that kind of bothers me a little bit. People calling it a show.
Yeah.
It's like we're not pretending, we're not acting.
Right.
This is what we enjoy. We're scening in front of you. We're not putting on a show. I mean, it's okay. I get it. I mean, it's just people,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great show, and I get that.
I mean, I guess when we do our stage performance, it is a show.
Sure. Yeah. You're doing a show, and you're doing a demo.
Yeah.
I'm doing a scene.
You're doing a scene.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all right.
My bad.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm so used to
I know you got to do your plugs,
right.
and you got
to
push your product.
But
like you're some sort of drug dealer being like, "Hey man, give it a shot."
Listen, I'm trying to get people to go to redroomaccessories.com and buy something.
They got got to go to redroomaccessories.com. Is that the right website?
Yeah.
I have to make sure I'm plugging it correctly.
Yeah. Well, why? Because we have a badass website built.
Well, no.
And it hasn't sold anything.
Truth of the matter is like I said, the flogger that you sold me, I still use to this day. It's got a beautiful end on it. Like when I pull it out of my bag, it's cold. It's a metal, nice, solid end. It's
Have you
heavy.
ever used the handle for other things?
And you rub it. No, I don't know why I haven't, but I should. And Amber's always asked me that too. She's like, "Why?"
So many people have asked us. They're like, "Is it a butt plug?" And I was like, "Whatever you do after you buy it from us."
It's a little big to put in the butt. Just saying.
Well, what about the smaller one that you just bought?
The smaller one doesn't have that metal end. It's a wooden handle.
Oh, you bought the wood handle.
Yeah, I got that.
But you like
for
the black.
that.
You like the black one that I showed you. It has the wide 1-inch straps.
Yes. Yes.
That has that more of a small rounder ball.
Yes. Yes. But that metal one, you rub it down their back when it's cold.
Oh yeah.
And it brings all that blood up. You just run it down their sides, and you tickle them a little bit with it. Feels real nice. I mean, you guys do make really good floggers. I bought them off of. I bought some off of Amazon. I bought some off of Etsy. I bought some from somewhere else. I don't remember where.
But if you've ever had a problem with those
They're
other
not.
ones,
They're not.
would they fix them?
Well, no, but here's another plug. You guys will fix the floggers if they break.
I mean, we insure our floggers.
You insure them.
Like when we sell you our flogger, like we strictly say if anything ever happens to it besides you physically destroying this bitch on purpose or using it in a murder,
Don't use them in a. How would you? I'm sure
we will fix it or replace it.
But
I mean, because our shit's not cheap,
they're not the go-to. You're right.
and they're not like that's why I tell because people are like they're expensive. Well, like yeah, it's an investment, and toys.
If you're into it, you're gonna want something like you're gonna spend some money on toys. Yeah, that's something.
They're investment because you in this industry you get what you pay for with toy wise.
If you ask, my favorite tool that I use in a scene, you might as well plan on. I mean, you're gonna spend money.
Yeah,
you're gonna spend money. This
and
stuff's not cheap.
Even if it's not like floggers or paddles or whatever. Look at like swings or beds or restraints or
I mean, you can get cheap stuff.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you about a cheap swing accident. There was a hotel party. They bought an Amazon swing. There was a couple using the swing properly. That swing broke and sent the person on the bottom to the floor with the person on top landing on him. She hit the back of her head on a hotel floor, so you know how soft that carpet is.
It's extremely plush.
Yeah. So, I don't think she sustained some serious injuries, but she was pretty bruised up.
That's a dammer for the night, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Your night's over.
So, I'm not going to mention the hotel party, but they bought a Amazon. They have since I've heard upgraded their
They have a nice swing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a nice swing. They got a really nice cross. But the people there really don't know what.
The cross is straight up and down. I'm not a fan of that of crosses. You have to have a lean in your cross.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a Red Room Accessories cross or not.
No,
I've been on I've seen a lot of crosses, or a lot of St. Andrew's crosses. Okay, and you have to have that lean.
Yeah, no, you have to have a lean. You have to have it lower on the bottom with the spread, higher on the top. It's still an X, but your center point for that X is lower
Yeah.
then it's not in the middle.
Right.
You don't want it in the middle because you smash your titties.
So you like the titties outside the X,
I
or in the
prefer
center of
them
that,
way.
in the center of it,
Yeah, like you want them out.
in the V of the X.
Yeah. The best crosses, the best St. Andrews crosses are the ones, well, according to Amber anyways, are the ones where you can go to the other side of it,
Yes.
which is why mine goes down from the ceiling in the middle.
Now, do you like what I call rat holes for their feet to slide in?
Yes. I believe that would be more comfortable for them.
Yeah.
You don't want them...
Because I don't like when their feet have to, like, kick out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is going to be uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah, you want them to be comfortable enough
Because
so
they're
they
going to be in there for a minute.
so they can enjoy what it is that you're implying to them.
Right, so if they're uncomfortable
Implementing
and
to them.
trying to get comfy,
Yeah, they're not really paying attention. to
yeah,
what
they're
you're
not,
doing.
well, and they're not going to get into subspace.
No, they won't.
And one thing that irritates the fuck out of me, I hate chasing somebody that's on the St. Andrews Cross.
Oh, and they're moving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've had girls, like, swing, and I'm like, listen, we're not duck hunting today. Okay? This is not fucking happening.
I miss that game.
Duck hunter.
Yeah.
From Mario?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Stupid
I was
dog.
at a hotel party.
Stupid ass dog that comes up.
Yeah. I was at a hotel party, and we cuffed her hands at the top. And this crazy bitch would, like, swing her legs on each side of this thing. And I was like, somebody needs to stand on the back of this cross because it's going to, like, flip the fuck over. It didn't, but she was swinging like a fucking monkey. I'm like, what the I was like, I just stood there. I'm like, whenever you're done, I'll continue. But I'm not.
No, you can't be doing that. You might accidentally hit in the wrong spot. You
Yeah,
don't wanna do
and,
that.
yeah.
No, you don't want him in the kidney or anything like that.
I mean, with somebody getting into doming, where do you hit?
Oh, was that a question for me?
Yeah, that's a question for you.
I thought it was for the other guy here. Well, the safest spot. Right on the ass.
On the meaty part?
Yeah, yeah.
Or do you...
Like right where the ass, right above where the ass comes down and meets the thigh. Like that little fold.
The
little dip fold in.
So
You wanna go,
I like
right
doing
above
that in an upward motion. Because then you hit the sciatic and it goes straight to their clit.
Yeah, but you're getting too advanced now. You're
Right.
talking about somebody who just started who's going to be playing
So if you're just starting...
who's going to be playing with the Walmart flogger, you know?
So if you're literally just starting, have them bend over. I like them bent over because
Yeah.
it presents more of a bigger target.
Yeah.
And then literally pick 2 points, one on each ass cheek.
And don't go all balls to the walls.
No,
It's not
because
necessary.
you have no idea what. You should have already said like how much she can take and have discussed all this shit before you ever engage into like actually flogging her. Have the conversation of like, you know, what she's into and all that stuff. But once you get to the point of like, all right, I'm going to literally flog her ass now, pick 2 points on her ass cheeks and then try to hit them. Either like a figure
Hell,
8.
Take a magic marker and draw an X on her ass.
Yep.
Some people like that body writing.
Some people do like body writing.
I like it.
I mean, I
use
put a
lipstick.
tic-tac-toe board on a girl's ass.
Oh, yeah, see that work. Try to hit the middle square.
No, I was doing that knife play shit.
Oh, that's right. Show me.
Yeah. To this day, she still has a tic-tac-toe board on her.
That's good. You should draw an X in that someday.
But yeah, I mean, make marks and be like, and before I ever flogged any ass, I'd practice either on a chair or the wall or a pillow.
Well, if you're just getting into this, I don't think that's all necessary. If you're getting into that, you're gonna go and get yourself probably one of those little cheap floggers from some adult store somewhere, and then you're gonna go in there and you're just gonna be hitting them with it. And I mean, you can't really do too much damage with that, and just play around with it.
It's usually like the pleather ones.
Yeah, they're not really. I mean, we're not talking about RedRoomAccessory.com stuff. We're talking about Walmart specials. You know, I mean, you're not really.
They got it with their Halloween outfit.
Yeah, Halloween outfit. Yeah. Yeah.
There was a
Catwoman
costume store. Well, there was a costume store, and then next and then
I've seen
nearby
those.
town, and during I would go in there for some Halloween ideas, and they would have fucking floggers in there.
Yeah, I saw those.
And I'm like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, you pick them up and they're like, I don't even know how to explain it. They look like
a limp noodle.
Yeah,
A limp noodle.
a limp noodle. You're not gonna do any damage with that,
No.
but you can learn where the sensitive spots are.
Why are we stopped?
Oh, how long we've been stopped?
I don't know.
Are we still recording?
It says we're live, but my thing is not recording. It stopped at like 59:17, so who knows?
Uh-oh. How long have we been on now?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Are we done?
I don't know. We have till 3 hours, but it see, like that says stop. What's this? So we're still live. I don't know.
We're new here.
We're-
We don't know what the
yeah.
hell we're doing.
Definitely don't know what the hell we're doing. Says our internet's strong.